Why starting over is so terrifying. I know it's super scary, and when you think about all the work, all the effort, all the sacrifice you need to make to get to that dream vision of your life, you feel exhausted already and you don't even want to try. So don't worry. We're going to be unpacking this. You're not alone today in this new episode of the Rosirys Effect. Why starting over is so terrifying. I know I've been there. Not only terrifying, but it's exhausting. There are many reasons why we feel that way. The first reason is because we don't really know what we want. We have forgotten what we want. We're not even sure of what we want. Our wants come from external sources: society, schools, universities, social media. Oh my God, everybody is trying to tell us what we want or what we should want. And we lost the connection with what we really want. We forgot what we really want. We're not sure if what we want, we should be wanting. Probably we should want the things everybody's telling me that I should want. And probably I should go for that instead of what I secretly want. That's a struggle. We are all going through that because there is an overflow of information, of stimuli telling us you need to do this, you need to do that. We don't know what we want. We forgot, we lost touch with the things that we really want. And that's one of the biggest reasons why we're so afraid of changing, because we don't know what direction to take, because we don't know what we want. And it's hard to find inside of you what you really want when there is all this noise outside of you telling you what you should be wanting. Another reason why it is so complicated for most of us to start over is because we want all or nothing. We want to go from 0 to 100. And we need to put the daily reps, we need to put the effort, we need to achieve progress little by little to get to that 100. We all have that Grammy moment vision. That Grammy moment that you have requires the daily reps. And the problem is that we are also bombarded, especially with social media, with final results. We see the end result of everybody's lives. And it's complicated when you're trying to start something and other people that are already in their 100 and you're in square one. And you want to be there already, but what they don't tell you is that it took them 1, 2, or 3 years to get there. They put in the time, they put in the daily reps, they did all the effort, and their progress was little by little, every day. But everybody's showing us their 100, their big Grammy moment, and we feel frustrated because it feels like so much effort to get to that Grammy moment that they already achieved, that I better stay here because it's exhausting. Not only exhausting, it's frustrating because even when you start and you do a little bit of sacrifice and that you're not getting any progress or you're not getting any closer to that 100, and then you fail and you feel frustrated because you didn't get to your Grammy moment after 1 week of putting in the work. And I think a lot of that is because of social media. So we need to be very careful with what we see, because if we keep looking at our neighbor's garden full of beautiful flowers and we haven't even planted the seed for our own garden, we're always going to feel frustrated, like a failure, and like we don't even want to try. So it is important for you to plant the seed in your garden and stop looking at your neighbor's garden and the beautiful flowers. Because if you don't stop looking at everyone else's flowers and gardens, you're never gonna plant the seed in yours. And you need to start. And the way to start is planting that seed. Seeing what everybody else is achieving is not helping you grow. So stop looking at what everybody else is doing and plant your seed. Start now. You need to start. Another reason why it is so complicated to start all over is because we think we're starting from scratch. And we never start from scratch. We start from experience. We are a world of experiences, of things we have lived, challenges we have faced, and things we have learned throughout our life, throughout our jobs. So all of that experience counts. Don't even discount your personal battles, because all of those things have taken you to this moment and they have prepared you for this moment of change and starting over. Starting over should be the most exciting thing in your life. This is a unique opportunity you have to completely redesign and redefine the way you want to live your life. I know many of you get terrified because you got laid off from your jobs and you think the world is ending and now all that time you spent in that company is wasted. But no. First, those are your experiences. Those experiences are growth. And on top of that, this is your unique chance to do what you want, to do this soul searching process, trying to reconnect with your real wants, not what others want you to want. So this is a fantastic opportunity. Please don't waste it. Don't discount how important this moment is in your life. You got laid off? Bravo. Great for you, because this is the moment for you to redefine and redesign the life you want to live. It is important for you to know that you don't need permission to change your life. You don't need to wait to be laid off or for something catastrophic happening in your life for you to make that change. Actually, my story, it's in my about page in my website. You can go read it. But this will be the first time I'm gonna be telling my story and what happened to me and what made me change my life. For almost 12 years, I worked in a Fortune 500 media and entertainment big global corporation. I was in the industry of my dreams. I had my dream job. I'm all about communications. I have a bachelor's in communications. I'm passionate about communications and about media and about entertainment. So I was in the industry of my dreams, no doubt. But after a while, I started feeling so disconnected from myself. I even forgot what I wanted. So that's why I know what it feels not knowing what you want. You apparently have the perfect setup. There's something off inside of you. And then, of course, after a while, you become this productivity machine. And then I started wondering, what am I creating? How am I innovating? What is my legacy? And all I heard were crickets. I wasn't creating, I wasn't innovating, I wasn't creating any legacy. So I felt completely disconnected from my purpose, the purpose of my soul. I wasn't even communicating. And then I became a mom. And of course, that was a terrible moment for me to quit my job. We needed the money more than ever. And after welcoming my beautiful baby boy, Andre, 2 months after he was born, literally had to hand him to my parents because after 2 months, he was so little, I had to leave him because I had to go to work. And working on TV, it's long hours. You know what time you start working, but you don't know what time you're gonna end. And I was working 6 days a week, most of those days 12 hours a day. So I was never there for my baby. I was only getting home to see him, to put him in bed. But for 4 years, my husband and my parents were basically raising my son when I was always working. Thank God my husband was working remotely, even before pandemic times. I was there for very little and I wanted to catch up in the very little time I had for him. And then something happened that changed my world and made me face my priorities head on. My son's autism diagnosis. It shook me. I didn't know what to do when you're a parent and your perfect little 3-year-old boy gets that diagnosis. It is so scary. And I was immersed in this cycle of work, and I knew I needed time to be there to take care of this situation with my son, to get him the help he needed. Even though he was a brilliant child, he started reading and writing at age 3. Nobody taught him. He learned himself. He could point any country, any continent in the map, any ocean, any peninsula. He knew everything. He knew so much, but he wasn't talking. And that's why we looked for help, because he wasn't talking, even though he could read and write. And he was so genius and so smart and so brilliant, but he wasn't talking. And then the pandemic hit. And for everyone, this was a tough time when they sent them home and they had to work from home and be confined. For me, this was a blessing. This was the best that could have ever happened to me, because finally I had the opportunity to be home with my child. When we were sent home to work from home, to me, that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. I was finally able to be with my son. We got to know each other. We got to connect. And my son started talking at 4 years old in confinement. When they sent me home to work from home, that was the time when my son started speaking, when I was around. And that's when I realized how my absence even affected his development and affected him emotionally. The fact that mom was home with him every day motivated him so much, and he flourished. He just started flourishing when pandemic started, when we were all locked in our homes. He wasn't going to school. He was attending school via Zoom, and it was fantastic. He flourished so much during pandemic times, during confinement, because mommy was home. And that made me think about all the time I spent away from him. And I was sure I didn't want that to end. I didn't want confinement to end. I didn't want to go back to the old me, being away from my son, away from my family. So 3 years, 3 fantastic years, I spent home, working from home with my son. I got him all the help he needed, all the therapies. I started cooking for him, a special diet. Life was perfect. He was flourishing, and I was able to see my son grow, finally, fully connected with him. And after 3 years, of course, I received a notification about the going back to the office. The moment I stepped foot in that beautiful state-of-the-art building, I knew I didn't want to go back to the old me. I didn't want to be the old Rosirys. I still wanted to be close to my son and having time for him, because I remembered how it was, even asking for time off to take him to the doctor, or when we received his diagnosis that we knew we had to get him help. I was always with this guilt every time I had to be away from work to take him to the doctor, and then it was double guilt, because then I was feeling guilty when I was at work and I was away from my son that I knew needed my attention and my love and my presence with him. I knew all this guilt was gonna come back, and I was gonna lose all the time I had to be with him once I returned to the office. And that's why I started planning my exit. And then I wonder, what can I do to have ownership and true agency of my time, of my life? What do I do? And I came to the conclusion that owning a business was the only way I could do it. And then I started looking for all kind of business ideas. I went from trying to buy a franchise for $250,000 to starting a pig farm, to vending machines, cotton candy vending machines, all kind of ideas, and they all required so much investment, at least $250,000. And of course I didn't have that money. So I tried so many things. Believe me, I looked into any kind of business that I could start, and I was so frustrated. And then I had to take a step back and rethink, what do I really want? I knew I wanted to have a business. I know I wanted to have ownership of my time, of my finances, of my life. And then I asked myself, who do I need to become to do that, to get all that? Who do I need to become to have that life? I realized it wasn't about external fixes. It wasn't about buying the right franchise or the right pig farm. It was about me. And then I decided I was gonna invest in me. And I was gonna take the time to figure out what I want. I knew already that I wanted a business, but I just had that realization about, I'm the business. I don't need to buy a pig farm to have a business. I have my abilities. I had a fantastic career in communications. I love helping people. And that's when I decided to become a certified life coach. I went back to school, not only to life coaching school, but also to business school to learn online businesses, because I knew I wanted to have the flexibility to work from home or work from anywhere, actually. And then I studied everything about the business aspect of online businesses, marketing, everything. It took me 1.5 years putting together this blueprint. And after a year working with private clients, most of them in the creative field, like me, and seeing their amazing results, because I was helping them not only in their soul searching situation, but also I was helping them use their talents and fill gaps in the market with those talents. And they build their businesses around their creative talents. And boom, it finally clicked. I've been helping all these people in an individual setting. And after seeing results, after seeing amazing transformations in their lives, I want to bring this to more people so I could reach more people, so I can help more people, so I can get more people transform their lives. Because working privately with clients, it's fantastic. It's a fantastic growth experience for both parts. But there are not enough hours in the day if I wanted to have more clients. So that's when I realized, let's bring all of this together. Let's put all of this together because I already have the blueprint. It took me a year and a half, but I could compress that into an 8-week process. 8 weeks to transform your life. And I created a system so in 8 weeks you can do what took me a year and a half with my experience in my own life and the experience I had with my clients. Seeing them transform their lives is when I decided that I wanted to reach more people and take this out into the world. And that's why I created the Talent to Brand Business Blueprint, because that's what it is. It's a blueprint. You don't need to think about it. If you're a creative like me who feels trapped in a job, in an industry where you don't belong, that you're just going through the motions and you're not using your talent and you don't know how to use your talent and treat your talent as a business, this is a blueprint. In 8 weeks, you have it all figured out, designed, and ready to put it into the world. It took me a year and a half. It doesn't have to take you that. It can take you 8 weeks. So that's my why. That's why I changed my life. That's my story, and I think a lot of other moms, especially if you are an autism mom or you have a child with any kind of disability, this will be your dream life. Just being home, working from home or working from anywhere. But you can take care of your child, you can take care of your family, you can take care of yourself. This is a fantastic opportunity for anyone who wants to take true ownership and agency of their life. You want to have control over your life, your finances, while doing what you love. This is why I created this. And this is the power of starting all over again. It can take you places. So don't be afraid. What you have to do is to plant the seed. Just plant the seed, do the daily reps, and naturally you'll get to your goal. Just stop looking at everyone else's gardens and flowers and start seeing your plant grow. Start. That's all you have to do. You don't need permission to do it. And the way to do it is mastering your talents, mastering your skills, learning new skills. You need to become the person who has the things that you want to have. What does it take to have the things that I want? Who do I need to become? That's the self-evaluation you need to do about yourself, being honest about yourself, and learn all the things you need to learn so you can get that. That's all it takes, learning. That's what I did. It worked. In my case, it took me a year and a half to get to this point where I precisely know what works and what I need to focus on. And I have this blueprint. So I invite you, if you're a creative, if you have a talent, if you have a skill that you love and you will love to pour your soul into that and live off of that, this is for you. Inside my Creative Freedom Society, which is a safe space for all creatives to come together so we can learn, grow, and live off our talent. This is a fantastic community that I'm putting here for you, and the blueprint to get you in 8 weeks to have your own online business around your skills. And not only that, but you're going to be able to get the recognition. You will be an authority in your field. You will be a thought leader in your field. And what better way to do it than doing what you love and being your authentic self? And on top of that, you get to control your narrative, you get to be your own publicist, and you build your machine, your money-making machine around your knowledge, around your talents, because there's a lot of people out there who require what you know, that skill, that knowledge that you have that you think has no value, or you discard, or you haven't taken serious and you just take it as a hobby and never thought of it as a business. Once you make it a business, a lot of people will be able to benefit from that. You will be serving people. Go serve. That's what we're all here on earth, to serve. And what better way to serve when we put our talents to work? There is a reason why you have that talent. It's not a coincidence. It's there for you to serve others with that and make money out of that, of course. So again, stop looking at your neighbor's flowers, start planting your seed, start believing and working on yourself, mastering your skills, perfecting your craft. I'll be here to support you in that change you want to make, and I'm going to link below this video the form if you want to be part of the Creative Freedom Society. Right now I'm working in opening the doors soon, so if you want to be a founding member of this fantastic community and have the blueprint for having your own online business in 8 weeks around your talents and skills, click the link below, put your name and email so I can let you know once I open the doors to the Creative Freedom Society. See you next time here in the Rosirys Effect.